Okay, so Canva is a tool that a lot of business owners are using right now, and it has drastically improved over the years. So when I started graphic design, I was learning all the Adobe programs, and honestly, kind of wasn't too impressed with Canva, but over the years, it has gotten so much better, and there are so many new things that you can do in these programs that before you weren't able to. And one of those things is create seamless carousels. Now, you may have been able to do this before by creating individual pages and then making sure that you're pulling your stuff into the right spot, but that was a lot of work. And now there is a way to do this where you can create the whole long image there in Canva, and I'm about to show you how to do it right now. So by the end of this video, you will know how to create the carousel. You'll know how to set up guides and grids on your Canva templates. You will know how to export and split those files so you can start uploading them to your Instagram or whatever other feed you'd like to upload them to by the end. So let's get into it. But before, if you're new here, I'm Hunter Myers, the face and mind behind Verger Design Co., where I help bold founders build magnetic brands that sell with confidence and clarity. Now here on this channel, we treat branding a little bit like dating because both require chemistry, commitment, and a killer first impression. Now let's get into making that killer first impression for you in these carousel templates. So for this one, what we're gonna be doing is making sure that we have a project that is wide enough to make 6 different panels. So the reason that we're doing 6 is because the exporter that I'm going to share with you, so there is one in Canva, but I feel like it creates a lot of additional steps. So the other one, for you to be able to use it for free, you can only do up to 6 panels. So that's what I'm going to show you. If you want to create one with more panels, just make sure that you add an additional 1080 for each additional panel you want to add in. And then you can use whatever the splitter there is in Canva. Again, I'm gonna show you all of this, but let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna build it for a 6-panel carousel. So we'll go to create, we'll do a new project. We're gonna do a custom size, and we are going to do 6480 by 10 by, oh no, we wanna do it by 1350. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to create the new design. So this is what you are going to see at first. Now, this is just one long panel, so that's not going to be super helpful for you because you don't know where your splits are going to be. Now, fortunately, Canva has finally added the ability to see guides and grids. And so to do that, you're going to need to go to File, Settings, Show Rulers and Guides. So you'll click that. Now what this is going to do is show you, and let me actually make sure that it does it again, settings, there we go. So you can see my rulers and guides here. And so I need to now drag these over to create my splits in the template. And you can do that just by dragging off to the side. So I clicked over here on, so you can see my little toggle change, click and drag. So I need one of these at each 1080 mark. And so this is a little challenging to do. I've honestly created a template for you guys so you don't have to do it this way. So I'm just gonna drag these out for now. We're gonna pretend they're at the 1080 mark. What you also want to do is drag one down to the 135 mark, because you can see there, that's gonna show you where the cutoff will be if you're looking at it in square mode. So sometimes on phones still, what you see on the grid is a square, whereas what you're seeing on a computer is more of that rectangle. And so this just makes sure that all of your content is in the right place. So the other one is gonna be at 1215. Now, like I said, you would drag these out to the appropriate points: 1080, 2160, 3240, 4320, and 5400. Now, this does take some finagling and some time, so I've gone ahead and done this in another template here. So you can see them right here, all pulled up. So let's zoom in there so you can see it better. We'll go to Elements, we'll click over here, drag this over. So let's scroll in. So because I have my guides and grids showing, you can see where each of these cut marks is. And so all you'll start doing is adding your images and your text into this file. So to make it really cool, so one of the cool seamless ones, because obviously if you just had text in each one, we've got our same color. Let's just put a color here in the background. we're not actually going to know that it is seamless. And so what's really cool about setting it up this way is you can add images that kind of cut and play along this piece. So let's add in a photo. Photos. We'll add in this one with the computer. So what I'm going to do is spread this out, and now you can see how it is going to be split here. Something that I personally like to do is have it overlap there, and then I will get like a graphic. So let's do like a torn paper graphic, something like this. Place that in, turn it around, and then this also plays in there. And so let's zoom into this so you guys can better see it. Here we go. So you can see how this starts to kind of overlap. Now right here, this is still where it would be cut off. And so you can see that the image is going to go across into multiple panels. If I wanted to add some text, we'll add a title here. Let's just say heading goes here. Make this larger. Bring this over. And so I'll just start playing around with where I want these items placed. And so something that I recommend doing if you're going to be making these carousels, especially if you're doing them for Instagram, because you can also build these for LinkedIn. I don't know if you know that, but when you do have to export your files, so the final like cut up pieces, as PDFs. Now we'll get to that when we go to the image splitter. But I'll add some text here. Let's add some, here's where some body copy would go. Talk about something your audience wants. Make that a little bigger. So on and so forth. And you can play around with this. What I recommend doing is if you already have your content laid out or like created, have that file up in a Google document so you can easily click back and forth. To also make this easier, you want to upload your brand kit. So here I can go to the brand kit. I'm on my brand here, and this is going to pull up all of my colors, my logos, my fonts, all of that so that it's easy for me to get moving. Now, I could spend all day designing this with you. What I do recommend doing is at the end having something here that is kind of a call to action or something like that. I'm going to show you a couple of other examples that I have built for my business. Now, these are just portfolio pieces here, but you can see how I have the images overlapping. We've got some fun text. The pictures are like cut up a little bit, which I think is really fun. And then here in the back, you can see again that I've got this call to action. I've got a little bit about me, my name, the handle, the call to action, things like that. I've got this paper texture, which is something that I really like in my stuff. But even here, you can see in this one, like this photo overlaps into the two frames. So if you're gonna do a photo overlap and you wanna play around with it more, it's always nice to like layer something over top. So I have this cutout here, but you could also do something really fun like I did in this one, which is have kind of this squiggled pattern, which will, again, make it almost seem seamless here, but then you kind of transition into this. And so instead of having a straight line, you've got like a fun squiggle, or sometimes you can have like a zigzag or something like that. So play around with it. It's really, really fun to do layering. If you like collage style as well, this is a really fun way to do it. If you are going to be doing this yourself, having your handle sometimes down at the bottom. So we looked at this right here. So down in this little kind of rectangle, let me show you. I'm just gonna show with this. So like down here in this area, I'd recommend putting your handle if you want to make sure that it is on all of your files. So you can put that below this little line. It's not going to show up on the square versions, but when people are looking on it on their feed and it's the rectangle, they will see it. So let's say you've got your whole piece designed, right? And you are ready now to split it. So there are two ways that you can do this. If you want to create this for LinkedIn as well. So let's say that you built this carousel, you want to be able to use it on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'd recommend going this route. So you're going to go to your apps here. You're going to find the image splitter. So you'll type that in, image splitter. You'll click this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to choose a file or export a design. We're going to export a design because we're going to use the designs that are in here. So I want it as a JPEG. I want the regular size. I'm going to pick the page that I want to do. So I want to go ahead and do page 4. Let's unselect those. Here we go. Current page 4. Done. Export. And then what this is going to allow you to do is select the number of rows and the number of columns. So you can see up here in this image, as I do this, more of these purple lines are coming up. So for the seamless carousel, you don't need any additional rows. So it'll just be one row. And since we built this to be only 6 panels, you're going to do 6 columns. If you built yours for more than the 6 panels, you will have to use this format here. You won't be able to use the next one I'm going to show you, but you'll just type in the number of panels that you want. So we're going to split the image, and now it's going to give me all of these individual images, okay? And so what I'm going to do is save images to uploads. So you can see them saving over there. Then what you have to do is you have to go and create a new design. And we are going to do a regular Instagram post. So the 4x5 Instagram post. And now what we will do is in our uploads folder, we should have all of those images that we exported. And so we'll bring it over, we make it the correct width, and we will do that for every slide. Then once that's done, you'll just go to the share. You will go to download. If you are posting these on Instagram, you can download them as a PNG. But if you want to post them on LinkedIn and you want it to be a sliding carousel kind of graphic, you have to download it as a PDF. So you will download it as a standard PDF document. Then you can upload it. And when you do so, that's going to make kind of that page style design. So this was kind of the long way. If you're not worried about LinkedIn, then I recommend doing it this other way. We're going to go back to the seamless carousel. We are going to download our regular image. So share, we will go to download, do it as a PNG. I'm going to download page 4. And then we're going to go to a free carousel splitter. So it's called carouselmaker.co. We will click that. We're going to drag and drop our image into there. And so now it's going to give us this option for grid, carousel, or custom. We want to click grid. And we want, remember, we want 6 columns here. So now we'll split and preview. And so it's going to give us those 6. And then all you got to do is download the zip file. And that is how you do it. That is how you create a seamless carousel here in Canva with 2 ways to export. So pick whichever one works best for you. Again, if you're just doing Instagram and you don't need any more than the 6 panels, I recommend the free carousel splitter. It is way easier. It's faster. I like it a lot more. So I'll make sure that that link is in the description along with the template so you don't have to go in and make those grid lines yourself. I know that it is kind of frustrating to do that and get it just right. So I'll have a template there for you so you can just download that and get started. Remember, if you want to make one that is larger than the 6 panels, you will have to make those adjustments yourself, and just make sure that you add 1080 each time. So every 1080 that you add to the width is going to be an additional panel for you on the carousel. If you learned something new today, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. I am always making new videos here on the channel. I'd love to make other tutorials too, so if there's something that you want to learn how to do in Canva, let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to teach you. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one with more actionable branding and design tips.